To understand the end, we must remember the beginning. Saigō Takamori was not always a rebel. He was a hero of the Meiji Restoration, an architect of modern Japan. But he watched with growing horror as the nation he helped build turned its back on 1,000 years of tradition. The samurai, the heart of Japan's identity, were being dismantled, their stipends gone, their right to wear a sword revoked. For Saigō, this was not progress. It was sacrilege. And so, in 1877, he raised an army, not of peasants, but of the last true samurai. They fought with sublime courage and ancient steel, but they were charging headlong into the jaws of the future. And the future was made of gunpowder and artillery. By September 24th, it was over. All that remained of Saigō's rebellion was a ragged band of 500 men backed against the wooded slope of Shiroyama in Kagoshima, and surrounding them, a perfect mechanized noose. 30,000 imperial troops under General Yamagata Aritomo. The math was undeniable. For every one samurai, there were 60 soldiers.
The math is simple, isn't it? 60 to 1.
Numbers do not measure spirit, boy. They measure only bodies. Now, polish your blade. It must shine for the ancestors.
There would be no surrender. There would be no negotiation. In the quiet hours, the samurai prepared. They polished their family armor for the last time. They wrote letters and poems, words meant for gods and ancestors, not for the living. They awaited the sunrise and their appointment with destiny. General Yamagata did not rush. He was not there for glory. He was there for a conclusion. His engineers moved with cold, terrifying precision. They carved a web of trenches ever closer to the samurai lines. They positioned over a dozen regiments of infantry in a perfect ring.
Battery positions secured, Gatlings primed.
This was no longer war as the samurai understood it. This was extermination. The drumbeat of the imperial advance was a death knell, echoing through the night. And in the eye of this gathering storm, there was a profound silence. A samurai, no older than 20, began to sing an old Satsuma folk song. One by one, others joined him. Their voices, low and steady, carried on the damp air, a final, defiant act of culture in the face of annihilation.
Do not look at them with hate. They are merely blind children, building their new world atop the graves of their fathers.
Saigō Takamori, the great leader, moved among his men. No words of grand inspiration were needed. A look, a nod, was enough. They were all bound together in this final, sacred pact. had already died. The mourning would merely be the ceremony. At 4:30 in the morning, a single rocket streaked into the pre-dawn sky. And hell itself was unleashed upon the hill. The world dissolved into noise and fire. The constant earth-shattering roar of the cannons.
Target acquired! Firing!
The mechanical ray-tat, tat, tat of the Gatling guns scything through the forest. Shiroyama was not a battlefield, it was a volcano, and the samurai were being consumed by it. And as the barrage lifted, a sound emerged from the smoke. A cry from the depths of history. The last battle cry of the samurai. Totsugeki. Charge. They poured down the slopes. Katanas held high against a wall of bayonets and rifle fire. For a few fleeting, glorious moments, the old ways held sway. A samurai would deflect a thrust and cut a soldier down. Another would leap into a trench, a whirlwind of steel. But the romance of single combat was a lie. A Gatling gun's burst would cut 3 men in half. Volley after volley of concentrated rifle fire mowed them down like wheat before the scythe. It was not a battle, it was a slaughter. But still they came. They charged not to break the line, but to break upon it. To die well. Saigō Takamori was gravely wounded. Helped by his last loyal captains, he found a quiet spot. He performed the ancient, final rite of his class. He ended his life on his own terms. His trusted friend, Beppu Shinsuke, did his duty one last time, ensuring his leader did not suffer.
Beppu, my old friend, thank you for walking this path with me to its end. The honor was all mine. We will meet again under a brighter sun.
With Saigō gone, the last few samurai launched a final desperate charge into the guns. And then, silence. The sun climbed over the cratered, ravaged hill. The silence was absolute. In less than an hour, the Sengoku Jidai, the age of the samurai, had truly, finally ended. Saigō Takamori, the rebel, became a legend. And Japan, stained with the blood of its past, marched inexorably into its future. We are defined not by how we build our empires, but by what we choose to sacrifice for them. True strength is not in the weapon you hold, but in the cause you are willing to die for, and in that final, defiant act of love for their way of life. The samurai of Shiroyama did not fail. They achieved a victory that echoes through eternity. May we all find something in our lives worthy of such love. Thank you for remembering them.